For 12 years, SG lived a double life. To passengers, she was nothing more than a calm and capable commercial pilot. But hidden behind that quiet uniform was a secret identity. Viper, a fighter ace with 7 confirmed kills, a name once feared in the skies. Her past stayed buried, until one flight changed everything. When her co-pilot collapsed midair, and F-22 Raptors spiraled into chaos above Denver, SG's hidden skills became the only thing standing between life and disaster. That day, 283 souls discovered who she truly was. Before the full story begins, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? And don't forget to subscribe for more untold legends. It was just after sunrise at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Travelers hurried through crowded terminals, parents wrangled children, and business professionals typed furiously on laptops as they waited for boarding calls. SG walked through the terminal with her usual quiet focus, uniform pressed, cap tucked neatly under her arm. To the casual eye, she was just another pilot reporting for duty. But to those who once flew beside her, she was something far greater. A ghost of the skies, a warrior who had disappeared without explanation. Her new life was built on silence and routine. No one on Flight 237 knew they were boarding under the care of a legend. As the jet engines roared to life and Flight 237 lifted off the runway, passengers leaned back into their seats, expecting nothing more than a smooth 2-hour trip to Denver. SG's co-pilot, Jake Thompson, chatted easily, reviewing checklists and making light jokes. To him, SG was reserved but reliable, a captain who never lost composure. What he didn't know was that she had faced pressures far greater than commercial schedules. In the cockpit, every button, every dial, every sound was familiar. Yet deep inside, SG carried a tension that never fully left her. She had walked away from combat, but combat never truly walked away from her. High above the Rocky Mountains, air traffic controllers in Denver began to notice trouble. 2 F-22 Raptors, America's most advanced fighters, were in the middle of a training exercise when their systems malfunctioned. One lost altitude, the other spiraled erratically, their courses drifting towards civilian airspace. On Flight 237, passengers sipped coffee and flipped through magazines, oblivious to the storm forming in the skies ahead. SG's instincts stirred uneasily. Years of combat flying had sharpened her ability to sense when something was wrong, even before the first warning light appeared. Then, without warning, co-pilot Jake slumped forward in his seat, unconscious. His headset slid down, his hands dropped from the controls. SG reacted instantly, steadying the aircraft, calling for assistance, and locking her focus on the tasks ahead. A stunned flight attendant rushed to the cockpit, but SG's voice was calm, commanding, "Secure the cabin. I've got this." In that moment, every passenger's life rested solely on her shoulders. She had been here before, though the stakes were always life or death. Now history was repeating itself. Denver air traffic control crackled through her headset. "Flight 237, urgent traffic ahead. Alter course immediately. 2 military aircraft descending fast in your sector." SG's eyes flicked to the radar screen. 2 fast-moving blips closing in. Civilian captains were trained for emergencies, but this was no ordinary emergency. This was combat airspace bleeding into civilian skies. For the first time in 12 years, SG felt Viper return. Her hands moved with an old, familiar precision as she calculated angles, speeds, and escape vectors that no civilian training program could ever teach. The airliner shifted sharply, banking with controlled grace as SG threaded it through the narrowing airspace. Passengers felt only a sudden tilt, murmuring nervously, unaware of the catastrophe unfolding just beyond their windows. The F-22s tumbled closer, their silver bodies streaking like falling stars. One missed by only a few hundred feet. Gasps erupted in the cabin as frightened eyes caught a glimpse of the fighter jet's shadow racing past. But in the cockpit, SG remained composed. She was no longer just a commercial captain. She was Viper again, a warrior guiding 283 souls through chaos. With a daring maneuver, she threaded the massive aircraft between the spiraling fighters, escaping collision by the slimmest of margins. Alarms blared, radio chatter filled her ears, but SG's breathing never wavered. "Flight 237, clear of conflict. Holding steady," she reported, her tone calm but sharp with authority. Air traffic controllers sat frozen, realizing what they had just witnessed was nearly impossible. For any ordinary pilot, this would have been a tragedy. For Viper, it was just another battle won, though this time she carried far more than a squadron. She carried families, children, and strangers whose lives now belonged to her skill. When Flight 237 finally touched down in Denver, relief washed over the passengers like a wave. Applause erupted, though most had no idea what truly happened above the clouds. To them, it was just turbulence, just another close call. But word spread quickly among the aviation community. Controllers spoke in hushed tones about the incredible precision they had heard over the radio. Military officials listened closely to reports, some stunned as the old name resurfaced, Viper. The woman who had vanished from combat 12 years ago had just revealed herself to the world again. By evening, journalists were already digging. Stories leaked from former squad mates, 7 confirmed kills, countless missions, a reputation etched into classified files. The quiet commercial captain was suddenly the center of global headlines. Some called her a savior. Others whispered of the ghost who had returned. But for SG, it wasn't about fame or recognition. She stood in the terminal, her uniform crisp, her expression unreadable, watching passengers reunite with loved ones. She had kept them safe, that was enough. Yet one truth was now undeniable. The legend of Viper was no longer hidden. 283 lives saved. A secret finally revealed. SG had spent 12 years walking among ordinary people, hiding the skills that once made her name echo across battlefields. But fate doesn't forget its heroes. On that day above Denver, the skies remembered Viper. And so did the world.